Hello, you. This is me coming back to ya. We are once again on the winding road. Today on the road, the storms have passed. The sun is shining. There's still a little water in the ditches as I'm seeing off to my right. And it's a little bit sunny out, so I am going to respectfully put on the old sunglasses and let's get right down to it. So things are looking up lately as far as having more time to accomplish all my dreams and all my goals. And it's on my social media, it's on my website. Please check it out. It's coming, baby. And whenever you have these other things, whether it be work or whatever it is in life that might distract you, like I've learned to deal, and I know that is going to happen to me along the way. And at first, whenever it was happening and I was getting pulled in different directions and doing things that I had to take care of and things that I had to get done, but it did take away from everything that I'm trying to do, because that takes up a whole lot of time. And I'm just one of those guys that feels like I could be doing, and I am doing 10 million different things, but it really feels like a lot of the time that I'm doing nothing. But I'm past that mindset now to realize and know that I am in the middle of doing something great, and that greatness is in me, and that greatness is going to come out naturally, as I talked about on the last podcast. And so I would get very frustrated whenever I wasn't able to contribute anything towards my goals, or very little whenever this other stuff would come up. It's not that I really stopped doing any of it. It's just I had to pick and choose what I was going to do, because I had to put my time into other things. So if you got another job or whatever, yes, that's going to happen, but you just got to make sure you're doing something that's heading towards where you ultimately want to get yourself, and then hopefully realize or figure out a way, as I have done with my lifestyle, with my living, with my costs, with what I need and what I got. How much money do I need? And what do I got as far as time goes in order to do the things that I love? Ultimately, that's all I'm doing, is things that I love and things that I know and things that I feel that I am called to do. That's love, inspire, and unite. So I've been able to get to a point where now I'm back and I'm going full steam ahead again. When you get slowed down, you have to keep moving. You cannot stop, no matter what or whatever you're trying to accomplish. And that not only goes with your time, but it also goes with obstacles that are thrown in your way. You cannot get bogged down by them and let them stop everything, your total momentum. And I learned the hard way through that, because I would get depressed. I would not be in good mental spots because I knew that I wasn't getting to where I needed to go. And so I dealt with that and trying to figure out a way out of that, and also just realizing in the moment that it was only a problem because it was happening then. Or if something's bothering you down right now, it's only a problem because it's happening now. It's an age-old adage of this too shall pass. That kind of mentality. And it might not seem that way a lot of the times. Like I said, here on the winding road, there's been storms the last few days, and it's like, cool, man. Is it ever going to get sunny again? Yes, it will get sunny again. Absolutely. You have to continue to believe that the sun's going to come up tomorrow, no matter what it is that you're going through. So keep going, and then once you get to where you're full steam ahead again, man, it's like a switch. It's like a switch in me, dude. And it builds and builds and builds, and I have to watch other people that I like, that I love, that inspire me, that have made it to the top, or maybe they're still in the middle of trying to figure out what they're doing as well and how they're going to get to the top. And I mean, obviously there's no top. Like, you can get to the peak of the mountain and then you realize, holy crap, man, this took a lot to get up here. And enjoy it, and you realize that, dang, man, like, I did all this stuff, or I'm doing all this stuff. Look at what I've done. Look at what I've accomplished. How do I get to that next level? Like, to keep going up the mountain. You'll never make it fully to the top. It just keeps going and going. Hopefully it keeps going after we die, and then something else happens, and then your soul goes into a different journey. I take out those thoughts and I use that to overcome the fear of death, to overcome the fear of failure, to overcome the fear of doubt, because I already know that anything that is here, that is now, that is noise, that slows me down and bogs me down, is only a problem because it's happening now. One day I'm going to be dead and gone, and it's not going to be a problem then, so why am I worried about it now? The now is all we truly have. We have faith. We have hope in something greater, in something more. And people get lost in their own beliefs and take their beliefs and just take it that that's the 100% truth and the 100% facts. And that's a problem. We got to try to figure out how to fix that problem, to not get caught up in religion and that type of deal and just let people believe what they want to believe. If you want to tell them about your beliefs and tell them what you believe in, that's awesome. But please have an open mind to what somebody else might believe. That's what I try to do. That makes up a part of me, a large part, and that's who I am. And so now I've gotten myself to the point where the switch is on, guys. And I hope you can turn your switch on too. The switch is turned on. The lights are bright. The future is bright. I take off my glasses and see the world. It's bright. I'm gonna put them back on though because it strains my eyes, and I don't know if it's scientific fact or not, but man, if you're straining your eyes all the time, like, that's got to cause you stress on your eyes, stress on yourself, stress on your body, stress on your mind, all that stuff. So that, like, to me, like, that's why I wear the glasses, because it just, like, helps me relax my eyes and relax everything that is a part of me, and allows me, like, I'm in business mode all the time now, but I'm enjoying every single second of it because I realize it's things that I love and things that I want to do, and I don't know how specifically. I have a plan mapped out of what I'd like to do and how I would like things to go. Ultimately, it's up to God, the universe, fate. However that greatness comes out of me is just how it's going to come out of me. And I let it be that way because I try to let life come as naturally as possible. But there's just no stopping right now. Like, it's all engines go. So now I have the time, I have the resources, and I've been able to weed out a lot of the things that have slowed me down. And number one, first and foremost, is lust. I spent a lot of my since I was 16, I guess, man. You know, I figured out the password to my parents' DirecTV and got free pornos for like 5 minutes. And, like, that sucked. I wish I would have never figured out that password, like, because I think that led to a lot of my lust and a lot of getting caught up in the pornography and all that stuff that can really slow you down. It can really do a number on you, you know, and some people don't get out of that. And I'm not shitting on the adult industry or anything like that, but, like, you know, I don't judge anybody, so I'm not saying whatever they're doing is wrong, but, like, just from what I believe, and for me personally, and for a lot of other people, as research shows, that it's not necessarily great, obviously, right? But I always have that open mind. So I don't want, when I take a stance on something, or you might think I'm taking a stance on something, like, I'm never judging anybody, man. So I hope you'll know that about me, and I encourage you to be the same as well in your life. But I spent a lot of years dealing with lust, man, and it didn't suit me really well. Like, I had a lot of fun doing it, and to say, like, oh, do you regret that? Like, man, like, I don't. You really can't. Like, you can't regret it, because then you're living in the past. And I'm not one to live and dwell in the past. I use my past to push me into the future, but I'm not gonna be just thinking about the past and all my past mistakes all the time, because I look back at it and I'm like, oh my God, like, man, I had a lot of fun. That's about really all I'm willing to open and share with you right now. And I've seen, a lot of beautiful women from different countries, from wherever, and it was great. But it's not ultimately what is gonna, and I realized that, and that's why I got away from it, because it's just like a empty, just that fleeting pleasure, man. That's all it is. It's the fleeting pleasure. And yeah, sure, you can keep doing it and doing it and doing it and doing it, and it's cool, and you keep getting that pleasure. But then it's like, what happens whenever you aren't able to find what you need, and how much deeper and how much more do you have to have of that in order to fulfill that pleasure and that momentary happiness? And that's not what we're going for, and I don't believe that's what life is about. Like, to me, as we've been talking about, it's about joy and trying to figure out a way to have joy, and that's continuous, no matter whether it's sunny or it's rainy outside. And like, that's where I'm headed, and that has allowed me to take it to that next level, because I have the time, and now it's like I said, it's go time, and it's all engines ahead, and I'm not gonna be distracted, and I have to put my foot down on my time and things that I need to do, and people that maybe want me to do something else. Like, no is like, no. Like, your time is the most valuable thing you have, and if you're just saying yes to everybody, is that really what you want to do? Like, yeah, you're going to need to say yes, and you're going to need to help your friends and your family, obviously. But if you can say no because you need to do something else that is going to take you to that next level to accomplish your dreams and your goal, then you have to say no, guys. Like, it's very important, man. Like, your time is the most valuable thing, like I said. And you got to remember that, and you have to focus on that. Like, realizing that time is time, right? Time is not guaranteed, may not even be a thing, but it is time. And that's why, really, man, it's cliche as well, but like, cannot be wasting it, man. Just don't waste it on things that have a hole in the bottom, Like, you just keep pouring whatever it is that you're pouring and drinking and consuming into that glass, and it's just got a hole in it. How do you fill your cup up? How do you fill your cup up? You fill that up with love, and however it is that you need to, whatever it is you need to do to find it, that's what you have to do. And it really does boil down to being kind to people and treating everybody with an open mind and a non-judgmental soul. It's about going on the soul's journey and about being a universal human. That's like, I think, what gets you to the team top notch. That's how you be on team top notch. And because I've been able to get rid of that lust, and because I've been able to stop drinking, it's been over a year, and that's helped me tremendously. And like I said, it's not like it's, yeah, it's been a problem for sure in the past, but it's not like it wasn't like an alcoholic or anything. It would make me very lustful, number one. So like two things go hand in hand. Throw cigarettes in there with it, and you're banging bitches and getting drunk and smoking cigarettes, and that's cool. Like I said, had a lot of fun doing that, but I cannot do that now. And because I've been able to stop doing those things has really helped me. And now how did I stop doing those things? Number one, fear. Because I got to the point where things were happening, and I didn't want to see what would happen next if I kept living that life, like I'm about to be getting close to middle age here. And well, there's no middle age technically. Anybody, like I said, nothing's guaranteed. Time is not guaranteed, but just of the average expectancy, like I'm getting to the middle, getting to halftime, and I want to be somebody by halftime. And so that's why it's very important to me right now to really grind and really push. And I was able to get over some of those other things by, I guess, whatever, call it the fear of God, if you will. Like God put the fear of God in me, basically, is what happened. And he used the circumstances of the lust and of the drinking to wake my ass up, is what happened. Because I started writing my book back in 2007, really after my grandma died and everything that happened around that, that was like, oh, this would be a great plot line for a book, and I have to write that. And ever since then, it's been on, but it's been so slow, and my book is still not published. Like I finished it I started writing it after I had the idea for it in 2006, started really writing it I filled out the whole notebook, right? So I had the idea for a main plot, and then it kind of evolved. I kind of worked on it a little bit, little by little, just thoughts in my head as I went throughout my radio career, and then I quit that because I knew if I didn't, that that I was not going to be happy, because I had to write that book. I had to publish it, things that you feel that you're called to do, that you're like, okay, I have to do this, because if I don't, I'll never know. And the fear of the unknown, to me, is the greatest fear of all, is not knowing what is going to happen. Or what if you don't go for it? You'll never know. So you can live with that fear for the rest of your life if you don't go for what you want to go for. And that sucks. And I don't want to do that. And that's why I was like, nope, gotta do this. So I quit my radio career, working on the book, finished it, had one offer so far, turned it down, waiting for something better to come out. It was a decent offer, but I went with my gut, which, like I've said before, I don't always do. I like to think about it, and I think that's a good thing to do. Think about it and analyze. Like, I realize that's a part of me, but ultimately, man, like, boy, oh boy, if you're faced with a tough decision, like, try to feel whatever your gut tells you to do. And that, like, if it's the right or wrong decision, you made the decision, so it was the right decision. And if it's not working out well after you make the decision, you have to figure out a way to validate that you made the right decision, to make things right, to make things work. And that's just what you have to do. So yeah, still looking for a publisher. I do have my short stories that are out there. If you guys want to read those, check those out. GaryMartinBooks.com and GaryMartinMedia.com. Whatever you want to put in, it all leads you to the same place at Gary Martin Media on all of the socials. Just trying to get the word out there, and I appreciate you guys getting on here and listening to me and watching. And if you like what you see, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. And, ultimately, it comes down to what you're trying to accomplish. It really, I think, boils down to how deep your ambition is and how much you're willing to sacrifice. Definitely, you're going to have to sacrifice some things along the way, as I've done. But I sacrificed good things to replace them with even better things, because fleeting pleasure is cool, but ultimately joy is a whole hell of a lot better. And that's where we're headed. And I hope you have that drive within you to get where you want to be. And I hope I've done at least a little bit to try to inspire you to get to that next level. And let's all go along and continue going along on this journey together, friends. I'm me, you're you. Love, inspire, unite. God bless.